Well, this is the old guy in containment in my car at the golf course. And there are people out walking, and golfers are out playing golf. And it's a dismal day. It's March 30th. Um, there's some things I learned in my viral updates. One is, those hand sanitizers. One thing to understand is a lot of people don't understand that just rubbing them on your hands is not going to do it. There's been some talk that these sanitizers lose their efficacy, their potency after a while use, and bacterial viruses and other viruses, mutate and protect themselves against this. So soap and water, and actual rubbing your hands under hot water and soap is a much better containment protection, because soap and hand soap, even the antibacterial, is soap, and it has stearates in it. These stearates kind of burn the viruses out, and they don't seem to develop immunities or mutates from them. The other thing is, I was listening to podcasts, and there's one interesting one about an epidemiologist who wrote a book on the 1918 flu. Now, this is real interesting because you could draw some parallels. Apparently, that flu in 1918, it wiped out 1/3 of some small countries. Apparently, it started in an army camp in Tennessee. In training camps, troops were training to go over to fight in World War I. And researchers noticed soldiers getting sick, and some of them were dying. And some post-mortems showed, they said their lungs seemed to be spongy, and there was some kind of a infection in their lungs, that flu-like, that this flu virus caused. So soldiers went over, and conditions are horrible, trench warfare, and no protections at all, and countries were overtaken by this flu virus. But the interesting thing was, it seemed to go down in the States as troops went over after a while, and people lifted, and restrictions were lifted, and people were out again living normal lives. But the thing was, it came back in a sort of a modified, almost mutated form, which was even stronger, and it really hit hard in Boston and a few other cities, and spread out, and it was disastrous because people lifted their restrictions early, and so that's the information I have so far. That parallel you could draw to this, that now the wonderful viral task force is thinking of keeping social distancing to April 30th, and the 15-day thing, to me never made really much sense. It's going to take a lot longer, and don't be fooled and lift your restrictions early and your social distancing early, because like when it hit Italy, it seemed to be a lot worse. The virus seemed to be a little bit different. It came from the east to the west, whereas the less serious, it seems, version hit in came from the cruise ships from east to west, and it hit first in West Coast and Washington. So, there could be sort of this kind of backlash kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know. But this is what I learned so far. Anyway, this is Yo Guy, and this is the viral containment update.